Elijah has now learned, and you see, this is something each and every one of us need to learn. We are absolutely nothing, and God is everything. So, Elijah has learned that he could do nothing without God. That God has to be a part of everything he does. That God has to be there. That God's got to lead him, instruct him, direct him. Otherwise, he's not going to be successful. Verse 3, and Ahab had called Obadiah, who was in charge of his house. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly. For so it was, while Jezebel massacred the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah had taken 100 prophets and hidden them 50 to a cave, and had fed them with bread and water. Jezebel had killed all of God's prophets that were around at the time, that she could lay her hands on. 450 prophets of God she slaughtered. Verse 5, and Ahab said to Obadiah, go into the land of all the springs of water, and to all the brooks, perhaps we may find grass to keep the horses and the mules alive, so that we will not have to kill any livestock. So they divided the land between them to explore it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. The famine was now in the acute stage. All the vegetation had dried up. The cattle could no longer find places to graze. So Ahab and his servant go out to search for possible pasture land. Obadiah was governor of Ahab's palace, but he was a God-fearing man. But nevertheless, he was still obedient to his master, King Ahab. Verse 7. Now as Obadiah was on his way, suddenly Elijah met him, and he recognized him. He fell on his face and said, is that you, my lord Elijah? And he answered him, it is I. Go tell your master, Elijah is here. This Obadiah goes into shock because Ahab is wicked, he's evil. And he goes into a state of shock. And he says this to Elijah.